This is life, a better life for the people of this area. So I'm going to bring to you your next representative. In fact, I'm going to say your first representative for a long time, because the other guy, the guy that they have here, he don't represent you. He represents himself and his party. Put your hands together. Come on. Put your hands together for your next representative, the person you're going to vote at the polls. Come on. Sister Bacchus-Baptiste.
I believe, say it. You are the God of miracles.
You are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God of power.
You are the God of power.
I believe, say it.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
Say it, y'all.
I believe. I believe.
Come on, let your feet get heavy. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Somebody make some noise in here. Come on, catch it, Jehovah.
Jehovah,
I trust
I trust
in you.
in you.
Oh, Lord, say it.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you.
I trust.
I trust in you.
I believe. Say it. Everybody say it.
I believe you.
I trust.
I trust
Come on.
in you. Oh Lord,
Put your heart over here.
Jehovah, you.
I can't hear you. Come on, say it.
I trust
Say it.
in you.
I believe. Say it.
I believe.
You are the God of miracles.
You are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonders.
You are the God of
You are the God of power.
You are the God of power.
I believe. Say it.
I believe. I believe.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
I believe. I believe. I believe.
I believe, I believe. Good night, good night, good night to the people of Polyard. Good night, Western George. Good night, all you wonderful people who have come out here tonight, and all of you who are listening in Radio Land and on the internet and in your homes. Good night. Good night. You see, tonight is a very, very special night because the NDP loves Polyard. Listen to me, people of Polyard, you are important to us. I don't believe another politician has visited Polyard like I have. Say it again, sister. I have walked this place in my short stint not more than at least 20 to 30 times. I have visited this area. The reason why you are important to us. Why am I here? Why am I here? I am here because I have a burning desire to make life better for all the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As all the speakers said before, I don't need to do this. At this stage in my profession, I'm comfortable. I can stay away from politics and live comfortably. But my conscience will not permit me. I have a desire to see all Vincentians get what they deserve. It really disturbs me when I see the victimization, the level of corruption, the nepotism that goes on in this country. That is why I am standing here before you tonight, and especially you, the people of Polyard. You remember in December, I came here just before Christmas and sponsored a barbecue for you because I am conscious that this is one of the worst villages of neglect in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know if there's another village that has been neglected like this one. And that is why I'm here, to make sure that I bring you a message of hope, because I promise you, when I am elected and when the NDP is elected, led by Dr. Friday, you will see a new day, a new dawn, a new hope you will see. Let us talk about the conditions here in this poll yard. The worst roads. Just before Christmas, they came and they fool you and they kind of grade it off a little bit. But it is very dangerous, this road. You know that. You walk it. And as the Honorable Daniel Cummins said, it is too dusty to be safe. And they can do better than that. And I promise you that when we get in, the first thing we're going to do is to give you a better road. Talk about the water. How is it in a village so close to Kingstown, where water is so accessible? You have the river right there, that you can't have pipe-borne water in your homes? Think about it, my people. It is unacceptable that in this day and age, there's a village right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right adjoining Kingstown, living in these poor conditions. You heard me ask a question in Parliament of the minister, when are you going to give light to the people of Polyard? He said no. Unabashedly, they do not care about you. At this stage, we have to be using a generator. You are right here. How do your children do? How can you do your homework? The children do their homework in the night without light. When they have to wait to be able to borrow from a generator, they can't use the internet. It is gross neglect, evidence that this government does not care about you. For over 20 years, your condition has not changed. The roads, the water, the light. And so, sometime last year, they had a meeting right here. And I was there. I don't know if you remember. They had a meeting right here. Some of them came from the ministry, because river defense, as though they care about you. The only reason why after 20 years they have decided to fix that riverbank is because they say they want to build a city. They are interested in the developers. They are not interested in you. So that river defense work that they have done has nothing to do with you. They mentioned in Parliament that they're going to do the second phase because they are hoping they won't be in power to do it, but they're hoping that they could develop a city. And so the river defense was not good enough for you, but it is good enough for they're hoping for developers. We say no, you are more important than that. Let's talk about your lands, these plots of lands that you have here. You are a Vincentian, every one of you in Polyard. You are entitled to own land in this country. You have been living on this plot of land for a number of years. The Limitation Act says, we know it is state land, and if you have been living on state land for 30 years and over, the title of government is extinguished. What that means is that the government cannot move you. I want to repeat it. If you have been living on state land for over 30 years continuously, treating it as yours, as you do here, it doesn't have to be you yourself. It can be your predecessor, your parents, your grandparents, people before you. The government cannot just move you because the title to the land in law is extinguished. Why does it even have to come to that? The government give away lands in Sandy Bay, yes? In Leeward, in Glen. They're going to give away land in Queen Drive. Why can't you get the lands that you are living on right here? Don't you think you deserve it? Come on, man, people, let me hear you. Do not think that anybody is better than you. You deserve these lands that you are living on, and an NDP government will see that you get your rightful lands. That is the message, the main message I want to bring to you tonight. They are saying that they're going to relocate you. Anybody came to you and tell you what their plans are? where they're going to relocate you to. They have been floating around somewhere in the air that they may be taking you to Fenton Mountain. Well, I have heard that they say they have a plan to develop a gated community in Fenton. They're not thinking about you. A gated community. Oh, the lands are beautiful up there, I heard the Prime Minister say. And they're bridge, and they're going to open up the lands. Perfect. They have investors to build a gated community. So even once again, they're saying Fenton too good for you. I am saying to you all tonight, my people, stay where you are. Demand from them. Demand that you get your land surveyed. And just as how government have given out lands to other persons all over St. Vincent, you in Polyard deserve the same. And that is what I mean, that we of the NDP, we care about you, and we will show you that we care about you. That is why I'm standing here tonight. That is why I have visited this area so many times, because it irks me to think about a baby growing up in a community like this without running water in the house. And a government that is saying, we will not give you electricity. How far is it to put electricity here? Just down the road there by the church, there's electricity. So what sort of spite are they running against you? Are you less than any other Vincentian? So remember, that is the main message of hope I have for you. When you wake up tomorrow morning, stretch and breathe in the air and say, this is mine. Claim it. Claim it. And an NDP government would see that the land is properly surveyed in an orderly manner, and so that you all can get it and develop yourself. Other plans that we have for West St. George, that I have for West St. George, as I've mentioned before, right here in Arnesville is a sporting, we hope to put down a sporting complex. You already have football, you already have cricket being played and netball. What sense does it make to put the National Stadium where they say they're going to put it? In Diamond. Think about it. Diamond is where traditionally they have had the motorsports being conducted. Without any regard to the motorsports, they have demolished the little roads that they used to do their motorsports on, and there are a number of persons in St. Vincent, motorsports enthusiasts, who are interested in developing the sport. But without any regard, they have now demolished the bridge and the track that they used to do their motorsports on, and decide once again to fool you by saying they're going to build a national stadium. Well, they did that 20 years ago. They did the same thing. They graded it up and they said they're going to build a national stadium. I am suggesting that you should make this area here, traditionally, culturally, historically, this is the sporting complex right next to you. If you're going to build a national stadium, why not build it here too? There are many reasons why it would be beneficial to put a stadium here. First of all, location, accessibility to all the schools. They can easily come and use it for training. If you're going to light it, because it doesn't make sense building a stadium that is not lighted, the same poles that you use to light the National Stadium can be used to light the cricket field, the basketball field, the netball complex. Save on equipment, save on maintenance, utilize the river water to keep the grass green. If you are a thinking government, you would recognize it is much better to have a sporting complex all in one area, rather than one here, one there, one somewhere else. Of course, you will develop the playing fields in all of the other constituencies and all of the other areas in West St. George. So, apart from the national complex, the NDP has a plan also to build a national sports museum right here in Arnesville, where we can showcase the cricket, netball, football, all the different sports, just like they do in Antigua. There's a cricket museum in Antigua. In Grenada, we have nothing here, nothing. And so we say that Arnesville can be developed into that. Along with that, you can have maybe rooms where persons can stay overnight, sporting persons when they come in. A restaurant, a bar, somewhere where the tourists can come and buy the produce also. These are the kind of plans we have for you for Arnesville. Don't listen when they tell you they're going to build a hospital. The Honorable Glenford Stewart will tell you, our engineer, that it does not make sense to put a hospital in a zone area where there could be flood. They're not serious about that. You heard the Honorable Daniel come and say to you, not a single mention in the budget. So where are they going to get the money from? What happened to them? They suddenly recognized that healthcare is important to the nation. Healthcare is important. And having said over the years that it's unimportant, they all of a sudden decide to adopt our plan, our design that we have for the hospital, and say they're going to put it here. Don't believe them. It's another gimmick. So I say, when we are elected, we will provide you with a national insurance scheme and a proper hospital. Yes? What you say, my people? Let me hear you. Now, another plan that I would like to implement, and we have started it already, right here in Arnesville, is to have an annual exhibition for West St. George, where we will showcase the talent, the creativity of our people of West St. George, whether it is in arts and crafts, cottage industry, agricultural products, etc. And then what we would try to do is to get persons to work with you to develop your talent so that you would be able to improve it and sell it to people. How will we pay for this? The CBI. The CBI? Citizenship by investment. All the countries that are flourishing in the Caribbean have a CBI program. But Gonzales will tell you, me nah sell passport. Why? Not because they're not indeed giving non-Vincentians passports, because that is happening and it has always been happening. But because they do not want the independence of the people that will come from the millions of dollars that the CBI will bring into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Even the Caribbean Development Bank, put that in Gonzales' face and slap it by saying to him how important it is to us. The CBI has endorsed, the Development Bank has endorsed our CBI program. That's where the money is coming from. From day one, the NDP is elected. We will start that program. And from that program, the millions of dollars would be used wisely to invest in you, the people. That's another promise of the NDP. Everywhere you turn, we can only promise you hope, hope, and more hope. Now, I also have another plan. Coming on soon, on stream very soon, we want to start a community radio station for West St. George. The plans are very far ahead. A venue has already been identified at Dorchester Hill for the radio station, and we are currently working on it. Very soon, you'd hear more about the community radio station. And it would be also an area to showcase young people, their talent. There would be a program designed specially for the young people of West St. George. And community news. And we would link up with some important radio stations also, so that we can help to spread the word, push the program. So look out, coming very shortly, the Western George Community Radio Station. So, my people, you would notice that I did not make a presentation at the recently concluded budget. That is because the budget, which was already set for a particular date, was pushed back because of the untimely death of Sir Ballantyne. And because of that, I had already made plans like over 7 years ago to attend a particular World Peace Conference in South Korea. And it was difficult for me. Tickets had already been purchased. It was all part of a very huge global peace effort. Again, this is one of my burning passions, to see a world of peace, to end division and war. And therefore, that peace conference was attended by over 3,000 persons, dignitaries, heads of states, prime ministers, past prime ministers, leading politicians, sports people, all over the world attended that peace conference. And at the actual convention, which was held at Champion Lake, there were over 30,000 persons who came together to pray for world peace. And I sat in that and prayed for liberation for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My prayer went up as I prayed for liberation for my people. So I promise you tonight, people, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, we will. Is my quest. That is why I stand here, nothing else. I am not here because I come to eat a food. My opponent, who has criticized the government for their increase in the pension years, who has said clearly that they don't care about the people, all of a sudden has decided that you'd throw in his hat with them. So we have to ask ourselves why. Is he interested in you, or is he interested in himself? Ask yourself that. But you don't have to, because he provided the answer. He said very, very clearly, I am doing this so I can eat a food. Well, I am doing this so that you can eat a food, my people. You can eat a food. So, keep in mind the message that I brought of hope and change. When you get up tomorrow morning, Divi, you claim this ground that you stand on. You claim it for yourself and your family. And I promise you that an NDP government will see that you are able to own the land that you're now living on. That's my promise to you. God bless you, my people. God bless you.
So long, goodbye.
So long, bye-bye.
Goodbye,
So long,
bye-bye. Somebody wave me bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Somebody wave me bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You ain't welcome here.
Bye-bye to the UNP. Bye-bye to corruption. Bye-bye to victimization. Bye-bye to fear and oppression. Victimization. Bye-bye.
Somebody raise it up, say
Bye-bye.
the God of miracles, say
You are the God of miracles.
you are the God of wonders.
You are the God of wonders.
Thank you, we cast out.
Yes. Let's hear it again for your next representative, Bacchus-Baptiste. Let's hear it again. And plans and a better life for the people in this area. There are some things I want to speak about, but I'll do that after the next speaker, because we're talking bread and butter issues, you know. Can mention quickly the river defense that the bill, very important. For years you are asking for help, they don't have no time with you. That river defense was not built because they care about you. It was built because they want to protect the lands for the investors, the rich boys. They didn't build it because they care about